Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Henson. Here we go. I keep saying I'm going to record a new intro, so I'm going to practice here for a second. We help business owners grow and scale their Facebook communities and beyond. I am your community builder. This podcast is a place to hear my journey, all the behind the scenes, the messy success of life and business. It's kind of like my online journal. I just jump on here and I share totally from my heart, no script. But today I'm going to be diving in and sharing with you guys, first of all, about a reel of mine on Instagram that went viral. Wow. Second of all, my newest big idea. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. All right, here we go. First things first. I'm very grateful that I'm even recording this podcast. I have to give a huge shout out to my team. Amanda, we have started doing some calendar work, and a great friend of mine kind of taught me this technique where you meet with a team member once a week for 30 minutes or less, and you talk about all the things that didn't get done the week before or anything that went well, or needs attention. But then you actually map out the following week. And so this means that things like recording podcast episodes are now being scheduled in my calendar. So I did not want to stop what I was working on and record this episode. I mean, of course I did want to, but it's really hard to make the podcast a priority a lot of days. I'm very deep in client work right now, and I know that's the exception, not the rule, right? But I am here, and I'm so grateful now that I actually got everything plugged in and got my headphones on, and I'm here sharing with you guys. I just am kind of bubbling over with gratitude for that accountability. Like, man, if I didn't have a team to hold me accountable and to be on this journey with me, like, the podcast would have fallen off a long time ago. It would have actually probably been the first thing to go. And it's one of my favorite projects in my business. It truly is, especially when it builds connection and I hear from you guys and I know that it's beneficial to you, but it's a lot of work. I couldn't do it without my team. And, it's a labor of love. The podcast is not my biggest, moneymaker, but all that to just say that I just kind of had this moment of like, I'm so proud of how far my team has come. And I know I shared about this in my last episode about systems, and I'm so proud of like becoming this next best version of myself and all the things. And you guys are just here with me, right? Listening to all the behind the scenes. So thank you, Amanda. Thank you, team. Let's talk about this reel that has over 80,000 views. What is happening? And I have to give another team member, Sharonda, credit for that, because Sharon is really a huge part of my social media right now. She is my brand manager. She pretty much oversees all the aesthetics of my business, and she helps me with reels. So you guys see a lot of the reels obviously are me, but I'm just creating kind of random videos and sending them to Sharon and her creativity like brings them to life. Sometimes she does it totally on her own. Sometimes I have a little bit of a vision and there's a back and forth. But this particular reel was all Sharon. I think I even, kind of just reached out to her in the middle of the day and was like, I'm overwhelmed. I know I need to get something on Instagram. I don't wanna. And like 20 minutes later, she's like, there's a reel. And she did that one start to finish. And all it is a quote. You guys, like, my eyes have been opened because I was kind of the anti-Instagram, I don't want to say anti-Instagram person because I love Instagram, but like I was not a believer of the reels and like I'm telling my team, like, look, I'm not interested in lip singing. Not that I don't think it's fun, but I don't have time. Like, I don't want to sit there and like try to match my singing up perfectly with the songs. And like, I don't want to rely on that type of energy and entertainment, for bookings when we're seeing success in other places in my business. But we've had a lot of fun with it, right? Like a lot of my reels are kind of making fun of reels or like talking about how I struggle to do them. And, we have some cool ones about Facebook groups and whatever. But this particular reel was just a quote. And the magic here, what I think we did right, that we're going to continue to kind of build upon, is it was very shareable. Like, it wasn't branded, it didn't have my face. Anybody could share that reel in their stories or however you share reels, and it could be applicable to their audience or their brand, right? Like, it was borrowable, shareable, and that's what really gained the momentum. It wasn't necessarily the likes or the comments or the views, it was the shares and the saves. And my biggest takeaway from this whole experience was it brought really great people to my page. We have like not seen like our follower count, I hate the word follower, our friends, our community. We have not seen that number go up in a really long time, because it's kind of like up one, down two, up two, down one, like forever. And I just kind of like, Instagram is, if there's a priority list, it's like middle of the priority list for me. And Sharon really kind of like runs the show and just tells me what to do. And we've gotten to the point where like my team does some of that stuff better than me. Like, of course it's all based on, my beliefs and my methodologies and this brand, but there's just a lot of stuff they do better than me. And that's a really cool feeling to know that you've brought people into your circle that are making your business better because they're more passionate about the aesthetics. They're more passionate about Instagram as a platform. So, man, awesome. But again, I think why that reel did so good, and if you guys go to my feed at elizabeth.henson, it's just waves with a quote going over it. If you click on reels, you'll see, because it's at, over 80,000 views. But this made me kind of a believer. And again, my biggest takeaway is just that it brought really awesome people to my page. Like, not just new followers, but like I'm clicking on their profiles and they're amazing, women who own businesses. They're solopreneurs. They're creative. They're, if I had to create an avatar, I mean, we have all created avatars for our business, right? Like our ideal clients, like they are them. They are them. And if they're not ideal clients, they're amazing humans who I'm grateful to have, supporting me. So that was like the biggest win for me of like, we didn't just get views for the sake of views. Like, it actually brought some really great traffic and new friends, new community members to my Instagram, which then kind of invites them into the Community Builder Facebook group, the podcast. It's kind of like a way to enter the spider web. But I'm doing my best, to go over and visit their profiles and send them messages and all the things. So if I can leave you with some encouragement, when it comes to Instagram or Reels, it doesn't have to take a lot of work. It doesn't require singing and dancing. Just think about the legacy you want to leave, right? Like, I would so much rather be known for leadership than for being super entertaining, right? Like, that's what I want to be remembered for. And I am super entertaining, you guys. Like, I am. I just don't always bring that energy to Instagram. I try to, but I want to be remembered for like someone that makes other people feel important, right? And it's not like I'm walking around like I am a leader. I strive to be a leader. I strive to learn as much as I can about leadership, and in a community way, in a way that I want people to feel seen and heard and important, like that's my passion and that's how I want to be remembered. not necessarily for, the outfit transitions or like the amazing vacation. Like, I've tried those kind of reels and they don't work for me. So keep it simple. Think about what is shareable. So, yes, we want branded content. All my branded reels that talk about Facebook groups are so important. That's brand awareness. But if you want to kind of reach a new audience, think about something that is share worthy, that maybe doesn't have your face, or if it does, it's still share worthy. Yeah, it's almost like step back and think about that bird's eye view. So I hope that was helpful. Again, I'm no Instagram expert. I'm not an expert at many things, but I'm always here to share with you guys what I'm picking up and what I'm learning along the way. Okay, part 2 of this episode. Probably should have just broke this up into 2 episodes, but nope, we're going for it. Part 2. I have a big idea. And this is already in alignment with what my agency is doing. So just to catch you guys up to speed, I kind of grew my business, or am growing my business, into a community management agency that specializes in Facebook groups or online communities. So not social media like Instagram or LinkedIn, but specifically Facebook groups and, Circle, Mighty Networks, online communities. But so far, we're really just like in the Facebook groups. That's what people want. And I'm learning so much about what these agency clients are going to be like, what I want them to be like. And I'm starting to like feel empowered, like to start saying more no's and to start attracting a more specific business or person. And I decided I want to do a totally done for you Facebook group offer. So right now, we don't have a done for you. We have what I call strategy and implementation, where I'm like a consultant and I'm guiding them, but they're creating their content. I'm in there doing conversation starters and little things here and there. But I think with the right company, like a product that I super believe in, that's super easy to understand, a really simple service, think simple, but like big business, right? And I feel confident that I could do a totally done for you Facebook group where the visionary or the CEO or the face of the company only has to come in once a week when they feel inspired, right? To go live or to share behind the scenes or to do a new product launch or whatever that might be. But I'm looking for these companies that are really, they have teams and they're comfortable with someone on the team being outward facing, right? So like they would be totally fine with a community manager running the show and they just come in when they feel like it. Because I'm finding that I am way more successful. I can serve my clients way better when, I'm just me and I'm just running their Facebook for them. Think about it like I'm the MC and, I'm the person that introduce the big keynote speaker, right? That is kind of where I thrive in these Facebook groups, is shining the light on these business owners, these visionaries, helping them build their business in that way, right? Rather than just operating kind of copy and paste, if that makes sense. So all that to say, I know that wasn't like super clear, but I've made a couple connections with some businesses that I think would be really good fits for this done for you model. So I'm hoping to test it out. And then rather than focusing on strategy and implementation, I'm going to have a done for you model, like a 50% done for you model. And then our lowest offer is just the weekly reports. So that way we can still serve our smaller businesses, solopreneurs. They just get our weekly reports. But yeah, I'm excited and it feels good. And I feel like I can start saying no to some people that are not a good fit and really start leaning into, what kind of companies, if I was going to do this for just 3 companies, like, what kind of impact are they making on the world? And I get excited being a part of that. I'm like this mix of, I am my own visionary and CEO, but I love being on teams. I love walking in a room and like being part of something bigger than me. I'm such a mix of both, right? Like I love to be the teacher and I equally love to be the student. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel that way too. So, more to come on that. Right now, the agency is doing really well. We have, 3 to 5, higher ticket clients. And they're all seeing amazing results. One of them is getting 30 calls booked every week. They're all getting new leads every week. And the ones that have paired a newsletter with their group, which I think I also talked about recently, we're seeing like a 60% open rate on those newsletters, which is super awesome. So I've been doing this long enough now that I'm really starting to be able to speak to, the numbers and the difference that we're making for these people. So I'll keep sharing, on that as we grow. But I hope that this short and sweet episode was helpful. I hope you'll walk away and create the easiest, breeziest reel that is shareable and see if you can make some new connections too. Don't forget, you can find all the show notes over at elizabethhenson.co/E87. If you love this episode, please leave us a review. That would be amazing. And don't forget to come say hi on Instagram. Just send me a message. Let me know you listened. Tag us. I love, love, love seeing our listeners like out in the wild. And if you haven't joined our Facebook community yet, it is called The Community Builder on Facebook. Just give it a search and come in and join us. All right, you guys, have the best day.